On the news tonight, Governor Sheriff Obarewere promises his administration's commitment to host 8 National Youth Games. 149 undergraduates from Anyocha Oshimili Federal Constituency to benefit from the Monday Onyeme's Foundation Annual Scholarship. President Bola Tinubu targets measures to stabilize foreign exchange markets. And abroad, hundreds of passengers stranded at Kenya's airport as workers went on strike. A pleasant evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us on Delta TV, the People's Pride. This is the news at 8. I am Blessing Usiagbada. Governor Sheriff Obarewere has said his administration has put necessary preparation on ground to ensure excellent hosting of the 8 National Youth Games in Asaba, the state capital. Governor Obarewere stated this while speaking with journalists shortly after inspection of facilities at the Stephen Keshi International Stadium, Asaba, venue of the Games. Ejime Udweme reports.
Facilities inspected by the governor on arrival included the Olympic-sized swimming pool, the 3 indoor sports hall, shooting range, the VVIP and VIP lounges, and the main bowl of the stadium. Governor Obarewere, who was conducted around the facilities by the chairman, local organizing committee, Chief Solomon Oba, said he was impressed with the level of preparation, pointing out that this year's edition will be the best in terms of hosting. He said the National Youth Games remained a platform to discover young athletes and challenge participating states to give their best throughout the period of the competition.
29 states arrived, and 5,776 athletes registered for this National Youth Games. So I'm sure that this year will be better than last year. I assure our people that this year will be better than last year.
At the Membo, the governor was ushered into the stadium with wide jubilation and cheers from the athletes from all parts of the country. A total of 5,776 athletes drawn from 29 states will participate in the 2024 edition of the National Youth Games being hosted by the state. Ejime Udweme reporting.
The state deputy governor, Sir Monday Onyeme, has reaffirmed his commitment to a merit-based scholarship for students of tertiary institutions following the selection of 149 successful candidates from the Anyocha Oshimili Federal Constituency. Pere Botu has details.
311 candidates were shortlisted for the aptitude test, while 200 sat for the examination under strict invigilation. Undergraduates from the Anyocha Oshimili Federal Constituency sat for the aptitude test conducted by the Monday Oyeme Foundation, a brainchild of the Deputy Governor Sir Monday Oyeme at the Dennis Osadebe University, Asaba. The aptitude test, which had 60 questions, lasted for 1 hour, saw undergraduates from different higher institutions of learning putting their academic prowess to work in order to be awarded the scholarship. Before the commencement of the test, the shortlisted candidates were accredited by officials of the foundation. The Deputy Governor, Sir Monday Oyeme, who read out the instructions to the candidates, said the exercise was the maiden edition for undergraduates from the Anyocha Oshimili Federal Constituency. He emphasized that the annual scholarship scheme was based on merit, adding that every ward in the federal constituency would have beneficiaries.
What we try to do is purely based on merit, but we try to ensure that every ward, benefits.
Sir Oyeme joined other officials in the marking of the booklets to score the students according to their performance and later sorted out the scripts according to the various wards and the local government areas. Thereafter, the deputy governor who announced the names and score of the successful candidates said 53 students from Anyosha North, 32 from Anyosha South, 36 from Oshimili North, and 28 from Oshimili South were successful in the aptitude test. He said checks will be presented to the beneficiaries in Asaba at a later date, adding that the successful candidates will be given 200,000 naira each. Sir Oyeme also disclosed that the students with the highest score will be given an additional 200,000 naira, while the second and third positions will be given 150,000 naira and 100,000 naira. 2 students scored the highest of 43%, 3 scored 41%, while 2 scored 40%. In an interview, some of the successful students thanked the Deputy Governor, Sir Monday Oyeme, for his scholarship scheme, saying the money would assist in lifting the financial burden of their academic pursuit. The Deputy Governor later visited the Vice Chancellor, Dennis Osadebe University, Asaba, Professor Ben Ogojafo, where they exchanged pleasantries. I am Pere Botu reporting.
The State Deputy Governor, Samonde Onyeme, has described Delta North as a stronghold of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) in the state. Speaking at a reception in honor of elected members of the Executive Committee of the State PDP from Delta North Senatorial District, the Deputy Governor congratulated the elected officials and charged them to double their efforts to ensure that the district remained intact for the party. He noted that the elected officials were chosen based on their track records. While congratulating the new state PDP executive, the Deputy Governor said that the election was based on their hard work and commitment to the growth of the party and have been given the mandate to work for the party the next 4 years. Onyeme urged them to improve on what they met on ground in the party and ensure the newly elected officers of the PDP to cooperate and work hard at moving the party to a higher level. The state chairman of the PDP, Chief Solomon Arenyeka, said it was absolute loyalty that party members have chosen the officers to serve in the state executive committee of the party. He urged them to continue in the spirit of loyalty and unity, adding that the party promises to work with the governor, Honorable Sheriff Obarewari, to enhance the fortune of Deltans. Those received include the deputy chairman, Elder Moses Idu, the vice chairman, Delta North, Mr. Dan Osai, and Mrs. Mary Agbowe, woman leader. The amendment to the Delta State Child Rights Law of 2008 has been overwhelmingly supported by lawmakers as it scaled through second reading at plenary today. Favor Okafo now reports.
Describing change as a fundamental instrument for growth, Honorable Okowa Daramola said it had become imperative for the law, which was enacted 16 years ago, to be amended to meet with the growing trends of time. She said amongst the amendments sought is a replacement of child rights protection from the Ministry of Education to the Ministry of Women Affairs, Community and Social Development. Honorable Okowa Daramola said the bill was also meant to strengthen legal framework of the bill, which would ensure the survival, development, and participation of children in the state. Other lawmakers in their various submissions said the proposed amendments will not only give legal backing to proposed adoption and surrogacy, but help guarantee the freedom of movement of every child in the state, subject to parental guidance. The Speaker, the Right Honourable Emomotimi Guo, then referred the bill to the House Committee on Housing, Women Affairs, Girl Child Entrepreneurship and Humanitarian Services to report back in October 3. The House also screened and confirmed as secretaries the nominees from Ika South and Ughelli South local councils who were initially stepped down for improper documentation of their credentials at the Committee of the Whole House, as moved by the Deputy Majority Leader, Honourable Festus Oko, and seconded by the Chief Whip, Honourable Perkins Umokoro. The Speaker had earlier informed the House of a letter from the Chairman of Burutu Local Government seeking for clearance for his Council Secretary. Al-Bugwa then charged the nominee to submit 35 copies of his curriculum vitae to the office of the Clerk of the House on or before Monday next week and appear for screening on Tuesday, 17. Favor Okafor reporting.
The wife of the state governor and founder, You Matter Charity Foundation, Dickiness Tobore Oborewere, has charged wives of the 25 local government chairmen to support their husbands, work in love and unity as a team to achieve greater heights in the state. Dickiness Oborewere made the assertion when she received the women on courtesy visit to Government House, Asaba. Florence Oyibodoro has details.
Dickiness Tobore Oborewere congratulated the 25 local government chairmen for the peaceful election that brought them into office and the successful swearing-in, stressing that their position was ordained by God. She advised the women to be prayerful and work together in love and unity to achieve said goals and to deliver dividends of democracy to the people.
I want people to support your husbands. Care for the women, the children. Make sure you keep in touch with them, irrespective of their status. Visit them, draw them closer.
While describing the wives of the 25 local government chairmen as her foot soldiers to impart and deliver on the more agenda to the grassroots, the governor's wife advised them to regularly reach out to the people, especially the poor and vulnerable, to enable them feel the impact of the present administration.
Coming together to do things together, let us take you move forward. Take Delta State to the next level. And with your support, we can do it because I cannot do it alone.
She also used the forum to introduce her pet project, the Umat Charity Foundation, to the women, as well as made them ambassadors of the foundation in their respective local government areas. The leader of the delegation and wife of the chairman of Aniocha South, Mrs. Ella Chukwuwike, lauded Governor Sheriff Oborewere for finding their husbands worthy to lead in the present administration, stressing that all PDP candidates emerged victorious during the last local government elections. Mrs. Chukwuwike commended the governor's wife, Dickiness Tobore, for her motherly role and promised to partner with her pet projects, the Umat Charity Foundation, to support the more agenda mantra of the Sheriff Oborewere administration. The leader of the delegation would disclose that the group had collectively embarked on human-oriented projects, maintained that the harmonious working relationship the governor's wife had extended to them would spur them to do more to advance Delta State.
We wish to reaffirm and state without a doubt that the harmonious working relationship which you extended to us as the mother of the state has certainly changed lives. And we are fully prepared and devoted to working with you once more to bring the state governor's more agenda goals to reality.
The highlight of the visit was a presentation of souvenirs. Florence Oyibodoro reporting.
The Defense Headquarters has vowed that no matter how long it takes, the military will continue to hunt for the killers of the 17 officers and soldiers who were on a legitimate duty in Okwama community, Ughelli South local government area of the state. The Chief of Defense Staff, CDS, General Christopher Musa, made the pledge at a media briefing after a joint military, police and paramilitary security meeting in Abuja. The CDS, who spoke through the Chief of Defense Training and Operation, Major General Emeka Onumajuru, on the latest Okwama operation, said the defense headquarters was reviewing operations in the northwest zone of the country towards better synergy and results, noting that the various operations would soon be brought together and harmonized under one commander for more effectiveness. The defense chief urged communities in the northwest to desist from supporting or providing terrorists with information. President Bola Tinubu has said his administration is restoring confidence in the economy through measures aimed at reducing inflation, stabilizing the foreign exchange market, and improving fiscal management. President Tinubu, represented by the Vice President, Mr. Kashim Shettima, gave the assurance at the 17th Annual Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria, CIBN, Banking and Finance Conference held in Abuja. He described the theme of the CIBN conference, Accelerating Economic Growth and Development, the state of play and the way forward, as timely and imperative. The president noted that the conference came at a time the nation was grappling with interrelated challenges, which he identified as high inflation, rising costs of living, unemployment, infrastructure deficit, and the effects of global economic shifts. He, however, observed that the challenges also presented opportunities for growth and development. President Tinubu said while addressing the challenges, his administration had taken bold but painful steps to reform the macroeconomics, noting that his administration was committed to strengthening infrastructure development in the ongoing bid to grow the nation's economy. He added that the administration was prioritizing the digital economy to drive innovation and enhance financial inclusion. The president called for collaboration across all sectors, including the government, private industries, and civil society, to achieve sustained economic growth. Earlier, the president and chairman of the CIBN, Professor Pius Olarewaju, called for urgent introspection on Nigeria's economic challenges, stressing the need for innovative solutions. He emphasized that while the Central Bank of Nigeria had introduced several monetary policies to address the issues, their success hinged on professionalism and patriotism of operators in the financial services sector. The House of Representatives Committee on Safety Standards and Regulation has raised concerns over safety issues and the use of substandard equipment in the Nigerian electricity supply industry, NESI. Chairman of the committee, Dr. Suleiman Gumi, emphasized the need for the House's commitment to ensure that the laws regulating safety in the sector were strictly enforced. Dr. Gumi noted that the committee, in collaboration with the Association for Public Policy Analysis, will host a conference to address safety challenges in the industry. According to him, the committee has identified the power sector as a crucial area where safety standards and regulatory policies must be rigorously observed for effective legislative action. He noted that challenges persisted despite government's effort to create laws, establish regulatory policies, and set up institutions with guidelines, codes, and rules for operators. Dr. Gumi further explained that the upcoming conference would serve as a platform to strengthen the committee's ability to fulfill its constitutional duties of oversight and investigation. The Independent National Electoral Commission has confirmed its readiness for the upcoming Edo State governorship election scheduled for 21 September 2024. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu stated this during a stakeholders meeting held in Benin City, Edo State. He urged all political parties and candidates to ensure a peaceful election process. Professor Yakubu emphasized that INEC had completed most of the necessary preparation for the election. The INEC boss also provided updates on the voter registration process, revealing that Edo State now has 2,629,025 registered voters. In the most recent voter registration exercise, 184,438 new and transferred permanent voter cards (PVCs) were issued, including 119,206 new voters and 65,232 transfers or reprints. Additionally, INEC has accredited 134 observer groups, including 124 domestic and 10 international organizations, and over 700 journalists from 114 media outlets to cover the election. You're watching Delta TV News at 8, still to come. Hundreds of passengers stranded at Kenya's airports as workers went on strike. Details of this story and many more will come after this short break. Please stay tuned. Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. Now the news continues. In world news, hundreds of passengers have been stranded at Kenya's airport after workers went on strike in protest at a planned takeover by an Indian business group. Large queues formed outside Nairobi's Jomo Kenyatta International Airport today as flights were delayed and cancelled. Union leaders today said they would return to work and that normal operations would resume shortly. Workers launched their protest over proposals to lease JKIA to the Adani Group for 30 years. The Aviation Workers Union argues that the deal is opaque and could lead to job losses. The unions agreed to return to work after being given assurances that the deal with Adani would not be finalized without their approval. The government says the airport in the capital, Nairobi, is operating beyond capacity and needs private investment to upgrade it. Now let's join our business news desk for happenings in the business sector.
The federal government is still battling to restore normalcy in the supply chain of the premium motor spirit PMS, otherwise known as petrol, as long queues in black markets remain visible despite last week's upward price adjustment. Findings across several locations show many petrol stations were still shut in Delta, Lagos and its environs, as well as Abuja metropolis. The findings also indicated that most independent marketers have not received improved supplies, while some major marketers have run out of stock due to overwhelming concentration of demand in them. Consequently, prices remain much higher in new pump price of 855 naira per litre, with independent marketers selling at between 900 naira and 1000 naira per litre. In some locations such as Delta, the prices were more than 1000 naira per litre. Many black market dealers selling in kegs were seen hawking the product at between 1,200 and 1,400 naira per litre in different parts of Lagos and Abuja. Meanwhile, there are indications that Nigeria is now close to meeting its 1.7 million barrels per day BPD 2024 budget target, as oil output rose month on month to 1.4 million barrels per day, excluding condensate in August 2024 from 1.3 million BPD in July 2024, indicating an increase of 3.4%. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, disclosed this in its latest September 2024 monthly oil market report, MOMR, adding that the data was based on information from direct communication. This was even as the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission (NUPRC) said the nation recently produced 227,000 BPD of condensate, indicating the nation's total output would be more than 1.6 million BPD. On a year-on-year basis, the August output indicates a huge 16.7% rise against 1.2 million BPD recorded in the corresponding period of 2023. The report showed that Nigerians' output consistently rose from 1.276 million BPD in June 2024 to 1.307 million BPD and 1.4 million BPD in July and August 2024 respectively. According to OPEC, Nigeria remains Africa's highest oil producer, while Congo emerged the list with 270,000 BPD. However, when data obtained from secondary communication were considered, OPEC maintained that Nigeria's oil output was slightly higher at 1.44 million BPD during the period.
And that's our news. Now, our thought for the day. God can put you back in front of those who broke you. Before we go, let's take a look at some of our major stories. Governor Sheriff Oborevwori has said his administration has put necessary preparation on ground to ensure excellent hosting of the 8th National Youth Games in Asaba, the state capital. Governor Oborevwori stated this while speaking with journalists shortly after inspection of facilities at the Stephen Keshi International Stadium, Asaba, venue of the Games. The State Deputy Governor, Samonde Onyeme, has reaffirmed his commitment to a merit-based scholarship for students of tertiary institutions following the selection of 149 successful candidates from the Anyocha-Oshimili Federal Constituency. President Bola Tinubu has said his administration is restoring confidence in the economy through measures aimed at reducing inflation, stabilizing the foreign exchange market, and improving fiscal management. We also reported that hundreds of passengers have been stranded at Kenya's main airport after workers went on strike in protest at a planned takeover by an Indian business group. That ends Delta TV News at 8. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am Blessing Usiagbada. Have a peaceful night rest.